Howdy, team. Welcome to this short little video where we talk about the different kinds of loops. I did mention that loops are a way that we can repeat certain statements within the code again and again and again as necessary. So we don't have to repeat code a bunch of times to do things a bunch of times. So let's talk about the two different kinds of loops. In general, we have two categories. The first one is an indefinite loop. This is a loop where you don't necessarily know the number of times that your loop is going to execute. So maybe you want to loop until the user inputs a certain value, or maybe you want to continue looping until you found what you're looking for. We don't necessarily know how many times a loop is going to execute. That's an indefinite loop. Here's some other examples. Until the user enters something special, until you've gotten a prime number, until the user has typed Q, those sorts of things. The other type of loop that is available is a definite loop. These ones are used a lot more frequently than indefinite loops. These execute a certain number of times. You know exactly how many times it needs to execute, and you're able to tell your program how many times you want that to be. So we are going to look at four loops today in the next video. These are definite loops. So this is something like print hello 10 times. I know that I want to say it 10 times, so I'm going to do that. Maybe you want to find all the prime numbers up to an integer of n. That means that we know we probably have to go up to n. So we know that we need to execute that loop n times. Also, maybe we want to print every odd number between something and something. All of these things we're able to determine in advance how many times we want it to execute. So we're able to use a sort of cleaner loop, something that's a little easier to read. And it's called a definite loop. So in the next video, we are going to explore those definite loops a little bit further. We're going to look at for loops next. Stay tuned, team.